This video clip is about turmeric, a very popular supplement selling all over the world. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about the science behind it. And then I'm not a scientist, so I'm not going to dwell too much on it. But I like science because it's precise and it is the idiom that most people can understand. And it is a very useful idiom and also a metaphor and also a science. Well, this I picked up this magazine here, Life Extension, March 2016. It's a magazine that publishes new discoveries in modern medicine, particularly in the field of herbology. They say that turmeric can help with neurodegenerative disease like Alzheimer's, like Parkinson's, and also cancer. Uh, and it's very interesting and it is highly documented. And I'm going to read a little bit about what it does from the magazine. Um, and then he starts with saying that newly published data about curcumin. Curcumin is the chemical that is found in turmeric. In Tamil, it is called manjal. Astonished scientists, physicians, and lay public. And so many good things can happen, particularly in the disease of neurodegenerative diseases, which are involved with the brain. And then, how about cancer? And then say, how can it help neurodegenerative disease, which is related to the brain, and also cancer? And then he's saying that why is it so? How neurodegenerative disease and cancer are related, and then how can curcumin help with both? While neurodegeneration and cancer may seem unrelated, they have multiple mechanisms in common. They include dysfunctional chemical signaling, and this is very important, in the cells, dysfunctional chemical signaling in the cells, and abnormal gene regulations, as well as vulnerability to chemical stresses and inflammation. See, these are the common things between the neurodegenerative disease and cancer. And then they have found amazing things. And then I want you to look at the magazine and also I'm not going to, as I said, this is not my field, but then amazing things he reports on. I'm going to read only the topics. Curcumin's anti Alzheimer's mechanisms. Curcumin's Curcumin battles neurodegeneration and cancer. Parkinson's disease. Curcumin combats tumors. Curcumin slows progression of fast-growing cancers. And then there is a table, number 2, curcumin and cancer prevention mechanisms. So I remember my mother, when I was growing up in Rameshwaram, used to give me a glass of milk with turmeric and other spices every day. When you go to bed, and she used to give that. And at that time, I thought, it is some practice that is has no significance for brain development or can arrest cancer cells. Then later on, I began to understand uh, the, of course, recently I'm very deeply involved in understanding the basis for herbal medicine. And particularly in India, herbal medicine is acknowledged by the government, Ayurveda and Siddha medicine and Unani and a bunch of others too. Now, I have made videos on how there is a being behind these herbs. The being can do a lot better than with better than the chemical itself. Here, the curcumin, which is found, they say the chemical combination, the chemical symbol for that is C21H20O6. That's curcumin. But this is science. But to talk about the goddess behind turmeric is very interesting. Not only interesting, but very useful. In every auspicious ceremony, curcumin is used. And whether it is a wedding or somebody has attained puberty, or if there is a housewarming ceremony, or any ceremony associated with prosperity, fertility, all the curcumin is involved. And then, but there are not many goddesses by the name of turmeric, although there are a few scattered around. It is important that go to revive the goddess tradition behind the curcumin, and also the phonemes that are appropriate for her. And I just want to let you know that I've been involved in empowering the herbal medicine through phonemes. The phonemes, according to Agastya, give power to the herbs. So that's why I started Number Botanicals, and then curcumin is also available there. And there are many phonemes associated with curcumin, and I will do a separate video on this pretty soon. God bless.